Hello everybody, in today's video I'm going to be talking about my new VAX Hoover. You'll see me trying it out on the rug and I talk about how that worked well, what didn't work well. You'll see me using it on the rug in my hall and then also on my stairs carpet. And you'll see there's a couple of small clips where you'll actually hear the noise of the Hoover, but in the main I'll do a voiceover and explain to you what I'm doing. Wait till the end to see whether I would recommend its purchase. If you have already got a VAX Hoover, I'm interested in hearing what your feedback is and what you think. There are definitely some design ideas that I feel like that VAX could have introduced to improve the product. And also, as I talk in the video, I've been sent far too many cleaning sprays. There's so many different ones, so I think they could probably simplify things as well. But in today's video, I'm going to be cleaning a very, very old rug. I've just now worked out that I think it's about 70 years old. A modern rug that came from IKEA, which is about 15 years old. And then our stairs carpet, which must now be about 14 years old, but was a very, very good quality. So far better quality than the IKEA rug. So please watch my video, let me know what you think, and let me know whether you think about buying one yourself. Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. So today I'm going to be talking about my new VAX Hoover. Now unfortunately I managed to delete the bit where I'm actually unboxing the VAX Hoover, but I know some of you would like that, but others just want to know how I got it on and what I think. So the very first thing that I tried out, and you can see I'm a little bit slow as I'm kind of getting used to things, and my husband and daughter give me instructions as to what I should be doing. Too much water, not enough water, right angle, wrong angle. So you can see at various points I'm talking to them about that. At one point I looked quite serious. But I start off with this rug. Now I think this rug is from, I don't know, maybe late 50s, early 60s, I'm not sure. Somebody said to me 40s, which means it's, what, 50 years old? No, 70 years old. The rug was here in the house when we moved in, briefly went out into the shed, and I decided to give it a new sense of love and brought it back into the home, and I really like it. Now it's not everybody's taste, but I really like it. So I wanted to try out the VAX Hoover on it because I knew there would be lots of dirt to remove. I also try out the VAX Hoover on the rug in the hall. The rug in the hall is probably, I think we had it before my daughter was born, so it might be about 14 years old, 15 years old, and that came from IKEA. And then you'll see me try out the Hoover on the stairs. So 3 very different types of material. So you've got the rug that I'm looking at and cleaning at the moment. It's wool based, it's old and potentially quite vulnerable. There's a couple of bits which are a bit worn quite badly. But the way I think it is, the Queen used to have all of her carpets were threadbare, so I can too. In the hall, that is modern, not particularly good quality, some IKEA, as kind of what you see is what you get really. Then my stairs carpet is very good quality, high percentage wool, and it is expensive carpet, and as a result it lasts well and hoovers well. Now the main thing that I found was on this older rug. Yes, you could see the dirt came up. I had to tilt it at a certain angle. But the amount of water that just disappeared into the rug, and the Hoover did not seem powerful enough to extract the water back. Now, I think that's partly because it's not rubber backed. So I think that was part of the problem. I also found that I had to do it, my husband had a go at one point. You have to do it quite slowly. You also have to tip it at an angle, and you have to, as soon as you've sprayed it, you straight away need to go over it. So I realised over time that when I try to do a bigger section, what you actually need to do is smaller sections and straight away go over it, because as soon as the liquid starts sinking into the fabric or the rug, it's much harder to get out. What I would say, did this make it considerably cleaner? I would say yes. It's come up brighter, it's come up cleaner. Of course, you're hoovering at the same time, so you're going all over the pile. Quite a lot of the wool did come out onto one of the kind of little brushes. So I don't know whether it's caused damage, but VAX say test in a small area. So that is their advice. And they probably would say don't use it on something which is this old. I don't know. I would like to go over it again. I really would, because I think there's a couple of bits which now the dirt has been loosened and I could go over it again. But then again, if I go over it again, will I still have a rug left? I don't know. It's powerful, but it doesn't take all of the water. The other thing that we found, because then the rug was very, very wet, my husband hung it over the tripod. We've not got the heating on at the moment in England, but obviously the house is reasonably warm. It's not that cold. So it did dry. I then put it on the floor the next day, but I had to bend part of it up because I didn't want to put it straight onto the floor because I think it would damage the floor being that wet. So if you're listening to this and you've already got a VAX Hoover and you're thinking, what on earth is Emma talking about? She's not used it in the right way. Then let me know. Was there another thing that I should be doing to avoid it getting so wet? When you look at the amount of water that you end up with clean water and how much you end up with dirty water, there's a massive disparity between the two amounts. Well, where has it all gone? It's gone into your upholstery or into your carpets. So that is the main reason I will not be cleaning my sofas during autumn and winter. Two things. A, it's putting too much moisture into the air during a cold time of the year, so I don't think it's at all sensible. So we'll wait until spring and summer. B, it leaves so much water in the seats. What will we sit on? What will we sit on? Because it will be wet for several days. Now I decided to do part of the video just in normal time so you could see how I went about doing it and spraying it. I also realised that you can change your technique so you can spray and at the same time as you spray pull the hoover over it. That might be better. The other thing that I struggled with is I'd done one end of the rug and then to do the other end I was then going to end up with wet knees, wet legs from the rug. So that didn't particularly work out as well as I'd planned either. But, you know, I think part of this is I am learning how to use it. I've never used a carpet cleaner before. So, you know, over time, I think I'll find it a bit easier and it will get, you know, it'll probably be an improved result. I realised that you needed to tip it up at a higher angle in order to get all the water. It is very satisfying also to see the dirty water coming out. Now I think what VAX should have done, because I think a lot of people would like to see the dirty water so you can see that you're making a difference. I think VAX should have made the cord, the pipe, I think they should have made part of that or all of that clear so you can literally see all the dirt going up the tube as you're doing it. And partly when I tilted it I was trying to see what it was doing because again the angle that you're at you can't see the dirt that's coming up, so at one point I was leaning over to try and see that. So it definitely has improved it. So then the next day, so my husband cleaned it all out for me because that isn't something that I like to do. I don't like to put things away particularly. So he showed me how to do it, but he did it for me. So you get some clean water and you put the hoover on and you suck all the clean water up and that then cleans the inside of the hoover. And then he showed me how to clean the dirty bit out. And we poured the water that I hadn't used down the sink. And then the next day I started on with the hall rug. Now there was a stain on the hall rug, no idea what the stain was. It looked like someone had spilt some sort of drink on it at some point. That stain looks like that's completely come out, but another mark has kind of appeared that wasn't there. But again, I do think that that's considerably cleaner. And after all, that's what this is all about, isn't it? And then, as I said, my stairs I was very pleased with. So wait until you see the stairs, how they've come up. I'm very pleased about that. You see that I moved the rug over because I'm worried about my Lego all getting wet. Many of you know about my ongoing Lego project, so I moved that. But we just didn't feel that it was going to be sensible to leave it on the floor because the varnish on the wooden floor and potentially damage the varnish and damage the floor. So that's why we sort of hung it over the tripod, and then when it was a little bit drier, I then put it on the floor but bent it over itself. And you can see on some parts I really kind of put quite a lot of water on because it felt like it needed it. And then also I scrubbed over some places where there was like a mark that had been there for quite some time. I also found on pressing on the front of the Hoover section that more water came up. So I'm sorry the lighting's not very good, but hopefully you can hear me well. So in summary, I filled it up to the level which said for a small area, because I thought this rug is a fairly small area. But because the rug is quite old, the water literally soaks straight through. This did not get all the water out, so my rug is now very, very wet. They should provide you with some sort of like liner or underneath, because now it's autumn time. There's no warning to say don't do this in autumn or winter. But I'm not going to be able to leave it on the floor because the water will damage the wood. It's definitely cleaner. Definitely cleaner. There are a couple of bits which have been here for years, probably since before I had the rug, which have come off, which is good. You can see all this is full of all the fluff from the rug. And you can see here, look, and I said to my husband, it's destroying my rug. I mean, the rug is old, and obviously they do say do a test area first. But look, you see that? It's absolutely full of the hair with the, you know, all the fluff from the rug. I wasn't pressing that hard, particularly. I was just going over it. So I'm not sure what I think about that. And even though I marked it as a small area, the water ran out. So I don't know whether you saw that on the video, how the water had run out. Oops. So the water was up to here. The solution was up to here. So I had that much water, right? All the water's now gone. Cool, this has got quite hot as well. And then in this side, this you can see all this is really dirty, but that's a lot of the fluff. And then can you see that tiny bit of water in there? Not much at all. So where has all the water gone? It's in my rug and it won't come out. So the jury's out. I'm going to see what it's like on my sofa, but I mean, what I might as well have done is I might as well have got some warm water from the tap, poured it over the rug and scrubbed it with a scrubbing brush. The rug would be wet, and it's wet now. So I'll see what it does to my sofas, but now I'm really concerned that the sofas are going to be soaking wet. Which, how is that going to dry in autumn time? If anyone's got a VAX and they can advise me any different, then I'll be very interested to hear. So at the moment, would I buy one? I'm not convinced. Obviously I did buy one, but what I mean is, would I recommend for you to buy one? I'm not convinced. But that might be because I've started on an old rug. Maybe that'll be better on the stairs. Maybe it'll be better on the sofa. So I'll try that another time. So you can see how much dirt was there. So that was good. All that's come out of my rug, out of my lounge. So I was pleased about that. Now for the next bit, I was talking and telling you about a design fault, in my opinion, about where they've marked the fluids. There's a really small section to put the water in from the tap. You need some sort of funnel really. If somebody is using it who's older, I think they'd find it quite difficult to make sure that all the water goes directly in, because if you move slightly, or if you're not that balanced, you move slightly and all the water just pours over the edge. And it's exactly the same with when you're adding the solution to the water. If you've not got a really, really steady hand, it will just pour out over the edge of the container and then it's on the work surface or wherever you're doing it. The other thing is they haven't considered where they've written the marks. So where it says minimum level, maximum level, the amount of fluid that you need to put in, depending upon the area that you're cleaning, you can't see those marks on the side where you fill it up with water. So you're filling it up with water and you have to kind of like stretch around to see where the marks are. So there are definitely a couple of things there that they could improve from a design perspective. So I've only done a couple of short clips with the noise because it's really loud, really loud. So I didn't want to drive you all mad with that. So you can see how much water I'm putting on, rubbing over some areas which are marked. You can see that it's, the amount of water is changing the colour of the rug. But I tried to do it in a systematic way so I knew which bits I'd done. And I find by pressing the front of it, you're more likely to be able to extract some of the water. Otherwise, again, the water just gets stuck in the rug and you can't extract it. And then I do the whole of the rug, and then you'll see me doing the stairs. Now, I was amazed at the upright part of the stairs, how there was actually quite a lot of dirt in that. But I felt like that this Hoover works really well on this carpet. So the carpet, like I said, is a good quality carpet. We've spent quite a lot of money on it. But you can see that I went over that third step because that was the one with the stain. I've got no idea what the stain is, but there was like this sort of black mark that thankfully at a glance, it just looked like the carpet pile had been moved. But it wasn't. It was actually some sort of mark from somewhere, some sort of stain. So I went all over that very carefully, and I feel like there's a big improvement. So I think I ended up doing about 6 steps. It's tiring. I do find it that I had to sit down after doing all of the rug and all of the stairs. I wanted a little sit down and got myself a glass of water because it is quite tiring. But I felt pleasantly surprised. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the accessories and the fluids that come with the VAX Hoover. So my personal opinion is that I think they've overcomplicated things, and I think maybe they feel that gives them kind of a step ahead in comparison to other brands. Personally, I just find it a bit confusing because there's so many different things. So like, you've got this one, which is slightly cloudy, that says Stain Shot, Stain Removal Spray, Antibacterial, kills 99.9% of bacteria whilst tackling stains and odours for carpets and upholstery. Spring Fresh. Okay, that's fine. Then we've got Stain Shot, Stain Removal Spray. Oxylift. Tackles tough stains and helps to break down embedded dirt for carpets and upholstery. Spring Fresh. Then we've got Stain Shot, Stain Removal Spray, Original, tackles everyday stains for carpets and upholstery. Fine. Then I've been sent a spot washer cleaning solution for rugs, upholstery and carpets, antibacterial for use with VAX spot washers. Alright. Then I've got pet stain and odour remover, pre-treatment solution. Okay. Then I've got carpet guard protector, post-treatment solution, protects carpets after washing and keeps them cleaner for longer. Use after carpet and spot washing for carpets and upholstery. Okay. And this is not all. We've got the pre-treatment for carpets and upholstery. Helps remove stubborn stains and embedded dirt prior to carpet and spot washing. Okay. Got lots of these little spray nozzles. I was hoping that I'd be able to get them all in this box, but they don't fit. Hoping to get them all in this box, but they don't fit. Then I've got these spray things that go with the bottles, which I suppose is quite a good idea, so you can use them like that. Random bits of cardboard that I can get rid of. Then we've got the car cleaning toolkit. And then we've got quite a few different for me, there's too many bits. I guess it's because some people might use this if they have like a job professionally carpet cleaning. Who knows? Oh, there's this one as well. Mustn't forget that one up there. This is the one that I was using the other day, so I need to go through and clean that because it's got quite a lot of fluff on it. They are very easy to clean. Very easy to clean because they all come apart. Not that I've done it yet, my husband's done it for me. They all come apart and you just wash them under the tap. I'm just going to go and get the other bowl. So bear in mind that I want less in my upstairs cupboard. I've also got this big container. This is spot washer cleaning solution for rugs and upholstery and carpets, antibacterial for use with VAX spot washers. This is cotton and peony. So I thought this is probably about to there. And all I've done is that rug behind me. You see that rug behind me there? That rug is very old, so it didn't have any like rubber on the back, so the water just literally soaked through. So we lost a lot of water. My daughter's already managed to spill crumble mix on it. But yeah, so that didn't work so well on that. The hall rug, mixed results, is rubber backed, so more of the fluid came out. And it's definitely cleaner, but has taken several days to dry. The best thing are my stairs. So I've done about 6 stairs. That is a good quality carpet on the stairs. So that might make the difference. Obviously my rug is decades old. The rug in the hall is an IKEA one, and to be honest, I'm ready to let that go and get something different. It's kind of looks a bit shabby, but they did come up quite nice with the cleaning. It just seemed to take so much of the water. And the problem is, a lot of the houses in the United Kingdom, they're solid brick. That means that you need to heat and ventilate them, otherwise you will end up getting problems of black mould. And basically one person reduces 2 pints of fluid in a day just by breathing. So you need to ventilate and you need to heat the house. Well, we've not put our heating on yet. I'm trying to hold out until November. Like my husband and daughter said, no, you need to put it on soon. But with that amount of moisture in the air, seriously, I left the front door and the back door open to try and get some ventilation, but there's no way I could do the rest of the stairs, and I'm no way am I going to do my sofa until spring, summertime, because so much water stays in the carpet, in the rug, in the sofa. It's very, very difficult to get the water out, so that is a weakness. But my stairs is lovely and clean. The first sort of 8 steps are really, really clean. As you know, we don't use, we don't wear shoes in the house. But there was, on the 3rd step, there was quite a nasty mark. I don't know where that's from, but that looks like that's come out. So just to clean the rug, and about 6-7 stairs, it's used that much. Which is quite a lot, isn't it? But the sad thing is, I thought, you know how I love to decant things into other bottles. I thought, oh, right, I'll decant it. You can't. Because apparently they're for different purposes and they're different smells. I mean, cotton and peony might not smell so good with spring fresh. So, would I buy it? I haven't got another carpet cleaner to compare it to because this is the only carpet cleaner I ever had. I think VAX need to simplify their product, cut down what they have. Have some sort of container where you can then put all your cleaning and all your odds and ends. Even if it was just a box where everything could fit together, it would be good. I've got this, which is a clean car kit. Dry debris, okay. And then that's all still wrapped up. Oh, that's quite a good little nozzle. You know, those bits that are difficult to get into the car, on the edge of the car. Does that separate? Oh no, that appears to be, no it doesn't. So you've got that, which is good. And then you've got that little bit. So that's handy. Let's have a little look in here. It's all nicely wrapped up for perfection, with paper, not plastic. Okay, so that's got a filter there. Stop all the bits coming into the machine, I suppose. So that's quite good, but I'm just not convinced that you need the car set, this, and all those. So yes, very pleased with what it's done on the carpet. Do they need all these extra stuff? No, I think that detracts because it makes it more complicated. Would I buy it? Would I have bought it knowing what I know now? I probably would, because it's done such a good job on my stairs, and I will use it in a variety of other places. And come springtime, I will be doing my sofa. So let me know in the comments whether you've already got one. Let me know what you think. And yeah, I might be using it wrong, you know, the fact that I've got so much water still in the rug. So please give me some tips and advice if you feel like I'm not quite using the machine in the right way. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!